What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, appreciate y'all tapping in with us for episode 11 of Fan Noise Podcast. I am Will F. the Barber, you know what I'm saying? I'm representing my boy Vic today, you know what I'm saying? I represent Vic out here, you know. This is my GOAT. This is my GOAT, you know what I'm saying? I'm not representing the Falcons. I'm representing Vic, okay? Oh, wow. This is my favorite player.
I don't understand why we have to have the separation, but okay.
I mean, listen, man, you know that my team, but at the same time, man,
I understand.
We got a lot going on.
Same way about the Hawks.
A lot of losing going on, you know what I'm saying? We got my boy Dom in the building.
Where's the sexiest big nigga live? Sorry.
Wow. That's how we're going to start it off.
That's his catchphrase.
I do have a clown hat on today because of the clown buffoonery that happened this weekend. I'll talk about it in a minute.
We'll talk about it. And we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, man, he's actually one of the first people we had called when we were talking about doing a podcast, you know what I'm saying? Give us some game, you know what I'm saying? He has his own podcast along with other co-hosts, the Gentleman's Delegation, you know what I'm saying? This is Big Brian, man. You know
what's up?
What's going on? Appreciate you stopping through,
man,
my boy.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah.
Y'all been making some noise, so I was like, man, I'll be tapping into the podcast and the live and everything. It's always interesting. The memes on the page. So I was like, man, hey, you was like, come through. I was like, I'll be there.
So let's do it like this now. Who's your favorite person on the podcast?
Who's the favorite person on the podcast?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get right to it.
I have to represent for my fellow big nigga right here.
You thought that was a competition? You know what I'm saying?
Christ.
You thought that was a competition.
I don't know if he's the sexiest. Y'all can tap in the comments if y'all want to, vote. Everybody like the chocolate.
Dang, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I for sure didn't think it was going that way.
Oh man, we battled together.
It's all good. Oh, tell them where y'all battled together from, man. Tell them where.
Oh man, we've had many a time.
Bro, GUL days.
Yeah.
Even going back to the Hit Squad, Southside days.
Now, folks that are new to the show don't know what that is.
That's right. Yeah. We played adult tackle football.
A what?
Adult tackle.
Adult.
I mean, it was close.
It's the same thing.
ADELT.
Tomato.
Adult. Okay.
We played grown people football. We played tackle. We got it down. We went and we traveled to different places, being on a few people. Mm-hmm. It was fun, man. Yeah. We all getting older though now. Got real life responsibilities and bills to pay now.
You don't realize how ignorant it was.
Who you telling?
Go out and start seeing some of the video. I'm like, wow,
bro, I told y'all. I went to one of their games one time. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, where them folks hitting hard? I'm looking, all I can see is like, bro, where are the pads? There's no pads. There's no helmet.
No. It was some pads. You got pads on underneath, but it wasn't like your regular, typical football.
Sound like football.
Exactly.
Where is the shoulder pads? I didn't see no helmets, something. And after that, I just watched the movie Concussion.
Yeah, he was.
So I was like,
he saw Concussion. I was like, I can't believe
football.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
No, I was like, nah, I'm cool on that, man. Y'all boys, it ain't enough. There ain't no protection.
Bro, people don't understand though, especially like growing up the way we grew up. You had to shy away from sports. So this was our way to finally be out there. They'd be like, oh, y'all play so serious. Y'all got jerseys like y'all getting paid. It's not about that. It's about going out there, having fun, doing something you love. Amen. And everybody be like, oh, you can get hurt. I could hurt myself getting out the shower.
He has.
But I rather, I have, legit, I actually have. But I would rather get hurt doing something I love.
Yeah. I've been more hurt playing basketball and flag football than I have ever played.
And people are,
you said the same thing, and I just can't see how. What are you doing? What are you doing wrong?
Because everybody understands, like, the people that play, we knew how to tackle properly. We wasn't going crazy. When you put on the helmet and you put on pad, you a maniac. You invincible.
You feel like you all protected and you good now, so you gonna go wild.
I can kind of see that.
Ooh, I was dangerous.
You were dangerous.
Okay.
Was he like that?
No. Brian is definitely like that.
Dang, see, now
I'm not even going to.
Now I feel like if I ask him,
because I will talk. I will talk junk. Normally, like I am going to talk junk about basketball because I think he.
Oh no, we still got to set up this 1-on-1.
We do, but basketball might be over for me.
Okay.
Basketball might be over for me.
Crossed up towards ACL.
Yeah, anyway,
they say Orlando.
But it was.
Orlando crossed him the other day, man. That's what they
talking about,
saying.
hey, Orlando can't shoot.
Oh, he can't shoot. But I still haven't seen my boy play. I still haven't seen.
Okay,
the
so
famous
I had to
Orlando.
give him a little credit, but I told him. So look, so we were talking jump one day.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando was talking big money cash about playing basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right. So we went and played. I went and kept it real basic. This was my first time playing since I tore my ACL.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm watching him play, and I'm like, bro, you not like what you thought you was. Like,
Oh, he was in here talking like Kobe.
he was in here
really?
talking,
He was talking like
cash
Kobe. Yeah.
money.
Don't let Kobe. He thought he was him.
He was talking
Oh, yeah.
cash money. And I was like, okay, I want to see what he got.
Yeah.
But I'm watching him, I'm like, yeah, bro, you not like that. Maybe you was like that back in the day. Because he is like 35.
Yeah.
But you not like that right now.
I had that realization just the last Friday. I got invited to go play basketball. And it's like the group that was kind of looked at me as like the big brother. And like I was 5 back in the day. And I'm just like, oh, I'm going to pick it back up. Doo-doo, you know what I mean? Hit him with the
doo-doo.
Nah, fam. The floor was slippery, and the first thing I thought about, like, what happened if I fall?
It's so crazy, bro. When you hurt your knee, because Brian has hurt his knee too,
Yeah.
you look at stuff so much different now, bro. And it hits you different.
Everything,
And
like, ooh,
everything you, yes, you're so much more conscious of it now. Like, I was watching some people ski, and I was just looking like, ooh. God, why is his legs so far apart? What? No, bro, it's different.
I never do, right? The trampoline part. First of all, I'm too big.
Dang, that's fun though.
No, it's not, bro. You know how many
They got
knees-
sections for the
Bruh.
big guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
I am not
What you
jumping.
trying to
You
do, Jack?
No.
You see how many knee? Watch.
I was about to say, you
man.
must not have watched the videos on YouTube how many knee injuries happen at the trampoline
I'm
place.
saying, like,
I done seen a dude literally separate his knee just from jumping.
I
That's
don't
all
know
he
what kind of
did.
trampoline
I'm
they
gonna put on
jumping
my grippy socks. And I'm going to just slide around looking at people. I ain't jumping not one time.
Gripping socks are actually very cool. But now, since y'all brought up football, you know what I'm saying, that is actually a great segue to our football topics, man. But it's been a crazy week with football, man. A lot going on, man. Bruh, these playoffs, 2022, or is it 2021 technically?
Yeah,
2022
season.
playoffs have been the best playoffs I've ever seen, like in totality, like from beginning to end. We going to the Super Bowl now, bro. It's been a bunch of great games, man. Like, bro, what's been y'all thoughts on it?
This is what I meant by earlier when I said I was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sunday was just a bad day for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had planned to go to the Lakers game,
Oh yeah,
and
don't know why you did
found out that morning LeBron wasn't playing. That was my whole reason of going, because I have yet to see LeBron play in person. Shocking, right?
Dang.
So I went to go see the game.
To be a Bron sexual, that's very shocking.
Tell me about it. So look, then I finally get talked into going to the game. My wife talked me into going to the game. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I went with Orlando. Me and Orlando went.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the game. We get there. Lakers playing all right. Literally like the last 6 minutes of the game, Lakers was up by 10 or 12. And they were playing great. But Westbrook was off the floor. Westbrook came back in, and Trae Young came back in, and the game just totally flip-flopped. All the turnovers, this dude shooting high arcing shots off the top of the backboard, like, it was terrible. They wound up losing the game. That was the first L. 2 L's, actually, because Bron didn't play, and then the Lakers lost.
Congratulations. Huh?
The third L. We go down the street to this place called Stacks.
Okay.
The food was bad. And it wasn't what I thought it was. A very nice place, but they had 5 items on the menu. And they called themselves a seafood bar with just fried fish. It had seafood on the door.
Oh, it's like fish and chips? Or
Yes,
something like that?
and that's exactly what it said. Fish and chips. You can't put seafood on the door if that's all you have. The fourth L was the Chiefs taking the L. The Bengals played excellent. I think Joe Burrow is nice.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs were definitely supposed to be in the Super Bowl.
Joe B.
That hurt
Big
me
Bird.
more than the Lakers losing. Because Orlando said this, and it's so true. They got greedy at halftime by not going for that field goal. Instead of going for the field goal, they tried to score and ran out of time. That would have been the game.
Yeah, play that
They would have
out.
won if they would have just kicked that field goal.
I feel like they got greedy. They was like the whole second half. They started to get greedy. Like, they started to get too cute, man. They started playing cocky.
Exactly, I totally agree. And the freaking Bengals were hungry, and they won. And you kind of could tell they wanted it more. And like you said, the Chiefs were playing cocky. So that was my fourth L of that day. So Sunday was just bad. Oh, and then I didn't even get to watch Power, so that's 5.
Like, I'm going to agree with what Will's saying. Like, this has been one of the best playoffs for me because of you can see the teams, like, really dogging out, really fighting for these games. Like, you have
the Bills.
The Bills was like that, man.
Yeah, they coming through teams that wasn't supposed to make it, unexpected. Both the number 1 seeds out early.
San Fran playing the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. We're gonna just not talk about that. But I am so happy that Kyle Shanahan, you did not prosper. Okay, cool.
Just to let you know, he is for some reason a Falcons fan too.
There's some reason it's in my blood. The red clay.
But you know what though? I don't hate Shanahan. Now, granted, he blew that Super Bowl. Don't get me wrong. But him and others, because I felt like we got outcoached all together in that second half. Like that's what lost the game. But I would much rather have Shanahan than when we had Dan Quinn and now we got Arthur Smith. Like I would much rather have Shanahan right now.
I agree with that. But like you said, the Chiefs got greedy, they got hungry, they got cocky. And that was the same thing that led to why the Falcons blew that lead. Okay. Right? That's the same thing. You have that lead. Julio just
I ain't gonna lie, man. You slapped me in the face.
We're not gonna go back. We're not gonna relive that. We ain't gonna relive that.
We ain't gonna need to talk. We don't even mention those words. You know what I'm saying? I know this. You know, the SB's around the corner. It's still stinging to say it.
So we're not gonna talk about that. I just feel like the playoff, you was on the edge of your seat.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of villains that got defeated. Tom Brady for me. I didn't want Tom Brady to go back. And the Rams, Tom Brady game, that Buccaneers Rams game, you was on the edge of your seat. I was really rooting for teams other than the Falcons because you wanted to see what they were going to do. The Bengals Chiefs game, I was going either way. You know what I mean? I betted some push-ups, so I didn't want to take them to the Bengals.
Now, a team that I am totally off the bandwagon with, or they're going to be off any wagon next year anyway, is I'm off Aaron Rodgers, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really off Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You can't blame it on the defense because they tried to blame it on the defense last year and this year. You held the team to 13 points.
You can't blame it on the run game. Aaron Jones went off running and receiving.
Yeah.
He got a little too cocky and played a little too cocky and got a little too gun happy with just trying to get it to Devontae Adams instead of spreading the ball out.
And I'm gonna give San Francisco credit. They defense did like
their defense was like that.
Their defense play really. Their defense in the running game has carried them because Garoppolo is
everybody running hate on Jimmy G, but Jimmy G has one of the best win percentages of a starting quarterback.
G stand for garbage.
So is he like?
I'm not saying he's a great quarterback.
He's a game manager.
He plays his role.
What's his role? Interceptions?
He's a lanky Alex.
We need somebody to throw picks.
Bro. You saying like you were San Fran?
Thank you. I was like,
no, I'm saying that.
We said real quick.
I'm saying if I was one of those players, fun fact.
All I'm saying is Jimmy G has been in 2 NFC Championship games within the last 5 years.
I actually have a client who has a family member who is a receiver for. I got sources now.
You got sources. Yeah.
He's a receiver for San Fran. So I asked him. I said, "Bro, what you think about Jimmy G?" He said the same thing everybody else think. That man is garbage.
Yeah.
That's not. And keep it real, bro. He's what's holding them back. But Shanahan want to get rid of him so bad. It's like he's just itching to just find something. But he was really hoping. He was really hoping Trey Lance would be ready. Okay, he got Shanahan.
He got a good system. Like when
Matt Ryan and Shanahan went there go.
Screens, I'm just like, this was so familiar. Screen. Overtop. Screen. I was like, man, that was beautiful. But you better not win this game. Debo was going crazy.
It's been all around, man. It's been good games, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, I just think the Chiefs they got too cute, man. Their head was a little too big, and they blew it. But especially after the game that they played against the Bills, I just knew. I could have sworn, bro, they were gonna roll the Bengals, bro. I just thought they were gonna roll them. And for the game to be that tight, and then for you not to score after the second half.
Yeah.
Is that the greatest game y'all seen?
The greatest?
Have y'all seen a better game
than the
Bills Chiefs?
No, I have never seen a better game.
I haven't seen a better game. I can't recall.
To go down to the wire the way it did, and for I mean, well, it was no defense in that game, but still.
Yeah.
That was like an all-star game.
Bro.
It was like highlights of the highlights of the highlights.
Bro, that was like something you would see happen on Madden.
Yeah.
Like, legit, that game did not seem real.
Bro, I hate the overtime rules in the NFL, bro. I really wish
I do wish
that it should be a score and a stop, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. Both quarterbacks should be able to touch the ball.
I agree with
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't punish the offense because the defense didn't hold up their end of the deal, bro. Like, you got to get a stop.
Nah. It's one thing about it. It's all or nothing. When you get to that point, it's all or nothing. That's what football's about. It's all or nothing. It's one game. That's why it's not a series.
But it's crazy.
It's making that all over again because they won the coin toss again.
I'm saying,
I just knew it was over.
If the Bills would have won the coin toss, they would have went down and did the same thing.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, bro, you need both teams should be able to have an offensive possession. Josh Allen should have a chance.
It's 3 different groups, right? Special teams, offense, and defense.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, if you got a high power offense, right? Yeah, you betting on who gonna get the coin toss. Mm-hmm. Like that what makes it like heart pounding. That's what makes it thrilling. Is like this is all you got. It's sudden death. It's right here. Put up or shut up. Defense gotta pay. They get paid millions of dollars. Defense gotta show up.
I was so ready to be torn,
that, but come on, man, you gotta be able to. You know what I'm saying? I wish it was like college. I felt, bro, that Alabama Auburn game, bro, like it didn't suffer because both teams was, you know, touching the ball. Like that made the game even greater. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When they was playing that last game of the season, like, bro, like I'm not saying that, like, cause I know they start the ball with like a 35 or something like that. I don't think it should be like that. I still, you know, probably still had a kickoff or something like that. But I just feel like scoring to stop. If you're gonna score, that's not enough. You got to play defense too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you bail Kansas City's defense out. Kansas City's defense is, you know, mediocre. I wasn't gonna say they're trash.
They're under mediocre.
Yeah.
No, they turned up towards they turned up towards the end of the season, but they definitely dropped off in the playoffs. Because I got to give big props to Joe Burrow because he was definitely poised throughout.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So
Big Burrow.
Big Burrow. He kept saying that. Joint was making me mad the whole time I was watching.
Because you can't say it.
Yeah, it was
trash.
No, I don't. It makes me mad. I was so ready to be my heart to be torn at the Super Bowl party between rooting for the Rams or the Chiefs. I'm just gonna root for the Chiefs regardless, but I want to see OBJ get a ring. Just off GP, just because of how everything happened with Cleveland and all that crap they were talking, how his name got tarnished and everything. I can comfortably root for the Rams.
I'm curious, like, can you tell me why you're a big Chiefs fan?
Bro, I love Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I love Patrick Mahomes. I haven't watched him in college, but I like his style of play. You know what his style of play reminds me of? His style of play really reminds me of about NFL Streets.
NFL Streets?
He is a cheat code.
That game is goated.
Like, I'm telling you, that's why I love. That's how he plays. And freaking Tyreek Hill is a cheat code, bro.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is a cheat code.
Like, this the way they offensive plays. It's like street football,
you know,
but they're playing professionally and winning this way.
They're different.
I love this joke.
They're different kind of fans, you know, in the world. Different kind of fans that exist.
Yeah.
There's numerous, you know, whether it's because of, you know, where you're from, or, you know, maybe you knew somebody that played there, or something like that. Dom is what we call bandwagon fan. You know what I'm saying? Fan. Oh yeah, he's the bandwagon fan.
You're a Giants fan.
Thank you. Everybody knows I'm a Giants fan.
When have you ever seen Dom wear New York Giant anything?
I have Giants paraphernalia.
Can you name 5 players on the roster?
Right now? Heck no, because they're trash. Just like the Falcons.
So how's that your team? You made more players on Kansas City than you can on your own team.
Because I know my team is trash. I'm not gonna watch garbage.
That's not your team. How many Giants games did you watch
this season? About 6.
6.
And
I guarantee you watched.
No. Guess how many they won? Guess how many they won out of the 6? No, 6.
None. Yeah.
Oh, what was your record? I know y'all was less than us because you still owe me dinner. But oh yeah, we better dinner on that.
You brought it up. Hey, I was going to ask the questions.
Yes, sir. Roof Chris, here I come. Steak.
Oh, snap.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a steak as big as my back. Bro, I'm gonna need to get a chainsaw to slice it in half. But I can't wait. But
all right, let me ask you something. So, who's another team you watch besides the Falcons? Because I know you get tired of watching that crap.
I mean, first of all, I don't watch nobody as much as the Falcons. I watch every Falcon game. I can't say I watch every game of nobody. But I have players that I like, but there's not really any teams that I say I like. I kind of like the Chiefs, but more so because of the players. I like the Rams, but I mean, I don't watch.
The only
none of
reason
them
I'm
more
gonna be
than the
rooting for the
Falcons.
Rams because I really want OBJ to win, and he was a former Giant.
I'm fine with them. I really wanted to see the Chiefs now. I just felt like Chiefs, Rams would have been a little more explosive for me, but I'm not mad at the Bengals being in there.
I'm so glad San Fran didn't win because who would want to see the San Fran and the Bengals?
Oh, I was saying that the whole time, like, bro, please do not let Garoppolo get in there.
Like that would have been the worst Super Bowl to me to watch.
Bro. And then Kyle Shanahan would have had a good chance to get a Super Bowl, and I ain't want that.
Oh, if Jimmy G would have got a Super Bowl ring.
Oh man,
Why y'all playing, bro? That boy Brady almost did it again.
No, he was close.
If Cooper Kupp, who is the best receiver in the NFL, I've been telling y'all that
This year.
Yeah, and listen, but it's the first year he had a quarterback.
Okay.
He's been top 10.
Yeah.
But now he actually got a QB.
We
Those
had
numbers
this
ain't
discussion
fluky.
before because what I was saying is, Cooper Kupp has had the best, like, statistical year this year, right?
Yeah.
But I definitely think Devontae Adams is a better receiver.
Yeah. But you have to understand, like,
Take a
now,
Kupp.
Kupp has gotten a lot of help. So now you spreading out. You got a quarterback.
And he's
that can get
nice.
The ball,
Devontae
right?
Adams had Aaron Rodgers. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that's
it's like-
part of it.
Like, Devontae Adams getting the force fit, and he's a great route runner. Like, Devontae Adams
And Cooper
route
Kupp
runner.
is not.
He didn't say he wasn't.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying, like, Cooper Kupp has been blessed with some more stuff. So you can see his rise a lot better this year. Better quarterback. He got some more receivers to help him out with the cast, right? They
I
have
still
a,
haven't.
a great receiver.
I'm still not
core.
hearing you saying why Devontae is better.
Devontae is a better route runner, right?
Slightly.
I feel like
He's better physically.
and he's been doing it
Is
at
he
a
though?
top
I
level
think Kupp is
long
faster.
time.
He might be bigger.
You might be
I
faster,
think
but
Kupp is
physically,
faster.
no.
He
I
can
don't
do a
think
little
so.
more.
Yeah, Kupp can. I mean,
You want to say Kupp is that dude, bro? Kupp is
Kupp
that.
has
He's the
had
best
an
right now.
Amazing season, and he's been very good for the last 5 years. I can say he's top 10. But Devontae
Top 10.
I'd say he's top 5.
Top 1. Man, y'all gotta stop doing this, man. I'm telling you, bro. It's reverse
I can't
racism.
say one
It's
because
not
the other
reverse
person
racism.
I'm thinking
It's
about
reverse
racism.
too.
No, it's not.
The other person I'm thinking about too, bro, is I can't put him over D Hop either.
D-Hop can't defend that because he wasn't able to play as much.
I mean, I'm talking about injuries.
So we gonna see-
I'm not talking about injured. I'm talking about
So
just
as
a
of
better
right
receiver.
now, he's the best.
I said
Next
that.
year,
We're gonna see.
we gonna see.
Yeah.
I think he has the ability to do it again.
Do you think he's gonna pull off the MVP?
No,
Nah, I just think they.
it'll be
It's
for a
very
receiver
hard.
to win an MVP.
To be honest
no.
though, he should be up there because he's breaking.
Oh, you
records.
talking about
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl?
No, I'm talking about for the league. I
League,
mean, like,
Oh no, league no.
He
But
should
maybe
be up
in the,
there.
possibly in the Super Bowl.
He can be Super Bowl
Yeah, he can be
MVP.
super-
but
yeah.
not
But
league
in the
MVP.
league, I feel like he should be because he's breaking records. But
He's balling.
they're
Like,
not going to give just like Jonathan Taylor should be in the conversation. He's not going to be in there. It's going to come down pretty much to Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? And like Tom Brady came up that Cooper Kupp play away from going back to the NFC Championship game and Rams Bucks. It's
been
interesting.
great.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sure. Tom Brady, whatever.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady like that. Tom Brady.
I mean, like, you know, I have no issue with Tom Brady. I just don't like Tom Brady.
Is it before the Super Bowl, or you just didn't like Tom Brady in general?
I didn't like Tom Brady in general before the Super Bowl, and
Okay.
that just solidified why I didn't like Tom Brady. Because, like, the whole thing, there's just sometimes we understand you got your due respect. You're a baller, right? But I hate the undue attention that Tom Brady had for so long. Like, yeah, you got a dynasty. We understand that.
Okay.
But they would, like, during the, what game was it? It was the Rams game, right?
What, the Super Bowl?
Yeah, no,
Oh, the one
NFC
just
Championship
passed.
game.
Okay.
Kupp just scored a touchdown. Cooper Kupp just scored like a 35-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
They did not replay the touchdown. You know what they replayed?
What?
Them busting Tom Brady's lip. They replayed it 19 times.
That's not Tom Brady's fault. That's a league issue.
But that's why I'm like, Cooper Kupp just like snagged it, took it to the house.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, bro, I want to see that. I'm watching the game. Let's show the touchdown again. Yeah. Nah, but all you see is zoom in. My lip busted.
Low key.
But fairness, he didn't get the call.
Low key.
He didn't get the call.
Low key D said about Adams. Adams, he don't he don't got help like Odell. He gets doubled all game.
Bro,
Cup got Odell to take the
Cup
pressure
was
off
doing
him.
number before Odell was there.
But he also had Robert Woods.
Odell had his first 100-yard game in the NFC.
But that's not because of
But
him. That's not because of him. That's because they
because of
forced-
Cooper Cup.
That's
because Cooper Cup is that dude.
Yeah.
They're still trying to double him.
But it goes versus, they're going to still OBJ. They're still going to help out. And then Jefferson's balling too. So it's going to make it.
Jefferson's pretty good.
Yeah,
He had some
yeah.
games where he looked kind of
But Devontae, they bracketing him
Cooper Cup's
the whole, like from like negative to right there by the end zone. They're bracketing him, doubling him the whole way down the field. So and he's still putting up numbers.
I mean, I give it to him. He putting up numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm
telling you
I
right
just don't
now.
like how people are. You can't say Odell because
people
being
are-
there is a reason he's doing it.
He is
doing
because
numbers for
he's
it.
going to catch more attention than you think. People outside of football think that Odell is washed and all this other crap. He gets the bad rep. Odell is still that dude. He's not maybe Giants Odell, but Odell, if he was the number one receiver on a team, would be getting 100-yard games every game.
Yeah.
Especially if his health,
games every game, man.
if he's the number one receiver on the team, yes, bro. He had a 100-yard game just recently with Cooper Kupp on the side. So what would he do if he was the main target?
But a 100-yard game every game, my boy.
You acting like that's
17 games, man.
you're acting like that's far fetched.
That's never
Like,
been done. It's never
you're
been
acting
done.
like that's
Odell's gonna
far-fetched.
do it now. If you would have, man, I don't know. Cooper Cup, he breaking records, he ain't even do it.
Okay, maybe not every game, but you get my drift.
Okay, I'll
You get the drift.
I'll be a little.
I know you are, but you get the drift.
I'm trying to rub back in. But either way, I don't. Going back to, I don't think enough is being put on Cooper Cup making the catch to win the game versus Tampa. And a lot of people are giving Matthew Stafford credit. Don't get me wrong, Matthew Stafford's been great, throw a great ball. But at the end of the day, Cooper has been the one. Even that game in San Francisco, Cooper's been the one. He makes big catches, big plays. I mean, he makes clutch plays. Is Devontae Adams clutch? Has he really been able to show us that? Like, bro, Cooper Cup is out here doing it.
Do you know who's the last MVP that won? That was a wide receiver, won the MVP of the league.
I don't even know.
Okay,
The biggest travesty is there's no lineman, that's won it.
exactly. O linemen don't get no credit.
That's the biggest travesty. But we ain't gonna go
Is
there.
it though?
You don't hear O lineman's name called, not at all. And
Can
why
you-
has Tom
Okay.
Brady? Why has Tom Brady lasted as long as he had in the NFL?
Okay, his whole line was good. And
Every
he's
step
been able
of
to
the
get
way
rid
that
the ball
he's
quickly.
been.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
Can you name me one offensive lineman that has ever deserved the honor of being MVP?
You don't. No, not MVP. I'm not saying. Did you say that?
He
No,
said
I
MVP.
yeah,
Oh,
I went
you
there.
said-
I went
okay.
there.
He tripped me.
I went there.
Just a little bit.
Can you give me one? The fact that you got to look up in the sky tells me you got to reach way too far in your brain.
It's not way too far. It's just the stats for O linemen
They
ain't
just-
ever publicized.
Okay,
When have you
that's
ever
fair.
seen, hey, this guard went, 79 attempts and 0 sacks given up? You don't hear that.
Well, I've heard
Ever.
that about Chris Lindstrom. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't given up a sack all year, but for some reason he doesn't go into the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
One of our few actually good players. But no, I can dig that though. I mean MVP, that's a huge stretch. But I do feel like offensive linemen don't get enough credit.
Hey, showing love to all my big man.
Shout out to O line, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm telling you, bro.
we love the O line, man. We gonna get the O
The
line some
games,
love, man.
people don't really think it's on offense, defense. The games is one in the trenches.
If there was no O line or D line, it's just 7-on-7. Aaron Rodgers put it bad. He's been a prima donna this year.
Oh yeah, he's
holding
not
it.
this year. He's been the biggest prima
yeah.
donna this year of his past years, but he's
Yeah.
been a diva for a while.
Does Aaron Rodgers still have the ability to be called the GOAT?
No, he's done.
I think that
That's done.
Aaron Rodgers GOAT, and I ain't gonna lie, I was one of those people that made a case for Aaron Rodgers being better than Brady.
So you was
Because
in this?
talents wise,
Discount double check.
I mean, I
I'm
wasn't
not gonna
discount
count-
double checking.
I definitely was.
I mean, I wasn't discount double checking, but I just respected the greatness. And I was looking at him play, and for a long time I said, man, bro, if we can just get a better team, like, bro, I'm telling you, if Aaron Rodgers had the coach that Tom Brady had, if he had the lineman, if he had this, if he had that, bro, he'd be the GOAT. And I'm making a GOAT case for him over Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Bro, that junk is over with,
No
bro.
way.
This is done, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have his time, right? And he probably has done a lot more to how QBs throw the ball and how QBs are getting prepared for the next level than a lot of people. But as far as GOAT status, nah. I feel like Mahomes is kind of the new.
He's gonna. He's right now. Yeah, right now. I feel like he's gonna be close. You know, we'll see what Burrow do. I mean,
because you see a lot of these quarterbacks that's young with the same escapability, the ability to throw on the run. I think Aaron Rodgers they've done it before, but Aaron Rodgers made it popular to throw off different platforms.
Yeah.
You know, side arming it, trying to reach it around people and stuff like that. That Mahomes is kind of like popularized for, but
you just can't have this many playoff blunders and come back from it. Especially now, I think he like 37, something like that. You ain't finna go on a crazy.
It's like 7-9 in the playoffs.
He's Tony Romo with a ring.
Damn.
Ooh.
Well, he's a little more talented. He's more talented than Romo.
Hey,
but as far as the
playoffs, Tony Romo
no, wait a minute. No, he ain't no Romo now. Don't give him Romo. He didn't choke like he don't choke like Romo the way Romo. Romo has some epic chokes.
There was a whole season where he was seeing phantom rushers. I've seen Aaron Rodgers like dive down. Like, bro, nobody's rushing you. Like,
look at, but I actually don't think that's too far off.
No, that's too far off.
No,
Aaron Rodgers has MVPs. Okay, Tony Romo is not getting those. He's had some years to where it was some of the greatest years from a quarterback we've ever seen.
How many rings
Tony Romo has that. No, because fair, but that's what the problem is.
It's just the playoff wins too. Yeah. You get these 1-round buys and you out the next game.
Yeah,
or he's like LeBron James of football.
Okay. But LeBron James is the GOAT.
He can get like to the playoffs. My bad. I'm sorry. I did that just for now.
LeBron got fucked.
This might be your last show.
LeBron carried teams to the promised land that shouldn't even have been.
Last show.
You know better come from
I can't not do LeBron blasphemy on this show.
My bad. Sorry. I came here. I had a couple things I wanted to check off. I had to look at Don's face. Talk about LeBron James. Shit. And I had to talk about Kyle Shanahan. So I'm good.
We got it all up.
Yeah.
With the Super Bowl in mind, what you got?
I got Bengals 24-17. I feel like this right here is the same thing when Ben Roethlisberger got into the league and he was just real like hot. In his second year in the league, he won the Super Bowl. Because it was just like the right time. Everything just feels right for the Bengals. They're beating teams that they shouldn't beat in circumstances they shouldn't win in. And somehow these young kids are beating better teams, more experienced teams, and, you know, coaches with a lot more experience. Like Andy Reid ain't no slouch to beat.
Yeah.
So it feel like this is the Cinderella story. Like, are you going to get the glass slipper or are you not going to get the glass slipper?
Okay. I'm going 35-14 Rams.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're going to blow out.
I definitely think the Rams are going to run it up on them because the defense is going to go stupid. I'm thinking 35-14 Rams. OBJ get his ring.
That's what the Pacers say.
And Aaron Donald.
That's a lot. Yeah, Aaron Donald. Yeah,
I love
Aaron Donald. Gonna get that.
Aaron Donald's one of the best defensive players ever play football. Like he's one of the best. I've never to be what he is, that big and all that. The way he can take over a game, like just destroy your whole offensive line, no matter who you put in front of him. I give him that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say 32-24 Bengals.
What y'all saying? Y'all type in the chat. Y'all type in the chat.
Wait a minute.
What y'all think?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think I poured a little too much.
Okay.
Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm about to say.
Dang.
I don't know. I think you're talking about the Bengals. I think you're talking about the Bengals. But no, I'm taking 32-24 Rams. I think it's going to be close for a good bit, but I think the Rams are going to pull away. And I do think the Bengals are going to have difficulty protecting Joe Burrow. However, I think Joe Burrow's still gonna deliver. I think
that's why I said the 14. I tell you, they're gonna get 2 touchdowns.
Low-key D up here said 24-21 Bengals.
Hey man, that'd be a good one. I'm not gonna lie. If the Bengals win, I don't mind as long as it's a good game. But I just want to see a good game. I hate to
I ain't gonna play. The Bengals win, I might cry.
Damn, you hate these boys that much? You
No,
want
it
the
ain't
Chiefs
that.
to beat them? You want...
Yeah, I'm gonna be very upset if the Bengals win. I'm sorry.
Dang.
I'm gonna be very
I'm
upset.
confused.
I'm going to be very upset.
Befuddled, like, as your love for the Chiefs.
Bro,
It's
I'm
because
gonna
Matthew
be.
Mahomes that light skinned. Like,
I'm going to be very upset if they win.
But for what, though?
Just because, too, then it's going to be all the Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes talk, and that's
yeah. Well, I mean, it's gonna be who.
Mind you, Joe Burrow's only like 1 year younger than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, right? You got Patrick Mahomes. You have all these young quarterbacks that we're going to be watching because my generation,
the league is
football,
It's gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
So now it's like, okay, what are these young cats going to do? What are they going to bring? And they're bringing a lot of excitement to the game that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
It's been what? It's been Patriots, Colts.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? You got the Mannings. You got Tom Brady.
Roethlisberger's gone.
Yeah, Roethlisberger.
Bro, I feel that way about the
He
NBA.
should have been
Sidebar.
gone.
Yeah,
Sidebar, I feel that way
definitely.
about the NBA. Like, everybody, like...
Who these guys like? And then why they don't cut their hair? Like, I'm just confused at a lot of different stuff. And every time I talk, I just sound more old and more gray headed. But yeah, you gotta like they bringing some more excitement, new blood. So
Yeah.
you gotta
I ain't gonna
enjoy
lie
it.
though. I think we definitely, the media kind of pushed it. I think fans kind of pushed it too. We said, Mahomes and Josh Allen might be the next Manning Brady, bro.
AFC
That boy
quarterback.
Joe Burrow, man, he might be making the case, dog. We got to stop playing with him, bro. I like him, but he got swag, bro.
The AFC quarterbacks are just...
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think, because, we're talking about with Aaron Rodgers. I'm pretty sure he's done in Green Bay, but he definitely needs to stay in the NFC.
Because a lot of those older quarterbacks we've been talking about, they've been in the NFC now. So now they on their way out. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he's going to stay or go somewhere, but, Drew Brees went out. Y'all think Tom Brady gone? Y'all think he retiring? He deserves a
Yeah, come on.
I understand that, but
that is pure hate coming out. That is pure hate.
Yeah, that man.
I understand it in basketball, but for like football,
yeah.
who done a football farewell tour?
I don't know.
But for
Tom
Brady, they
would
will.
need one.
No,
Yes.
it won't be for nobody but Brady. If he,
Like-
but see, then again,
You're
bro,
acting like this is just a regular dude
It's
that's
not a regular- I
retired,
understand.
or like just an average,
So,
average guy.
how many players of that stature has came into the season and said, "Listen, this is gonna be my last one."
This is
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So you think this year when he goes around, teams ain't gonna have video tributes and
Every
standing
game in the
ovations
arena,
everywhere?
every game in the arena will
We're
sell
about
out.
to get into something that's like right here. That's not the tradition, and that's not what football is based on. And I don't want one person to be bigger than the game.
But
That's
he's the
like
greatest
I know he's one of the greatest.
quarterback wise.
He's one of the greatest.
He's the GOAT quarterback.
I mean, like,
Stop
that-
it. Come on.
I
You
was-
still
I'm not
arguing that.
I'm not going to argue about like Tom Brady has his own place.
You saying
in
one of the
NFL.
greatest? I just want to know who you have ahead.
I'm saying, well,
I don't have
come
it,
on,
but
man.
I'm not going to just give him that, right? Because like football,
That hate showing through your skin.
It's not the hate. Football is based on it's 11 men coming together and playing the game.
I got you.
Now basketball is more of an individualized sport with 5 players on the basketball field. One person can take over the whole game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basketball is built on that, and now the Player Association have made it more viable. Like, hey, the owners and everybody else has to placate to these players, and they built that side on basketball. I really don't want to see that become the reality of football.
That's not the reality of football. If they just
You
showing
just
the man
said-
love
you
in
just
his
said-
last
no,
year.
You said one player. Yeah, it has to be him. If it's anybody, no.
That's because a lot of dudes they retire at the end of the year. They be like, okay, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah, because
But I'm saying, like,
And a lot of people, I can't think of nobody who's been gonna retire that's had the career like Tom Brady.
Yes,
has.
this is
He's talking about
one.
22 years
Peyton Manning
of
could
full
have-
Brady is
winning
one of one.
seasons. Full winning seasons.
Yeah, he's one
7
of
Super
Peyton Manning
Bowls.
could have had we wanted to do a farewell tour. We could have gave him
Right.
that decency. You know
Peyton
what I mean?
Manning
He
would've
still-
been
But he didn't want to retire. His
I feel
hand
like-
got forced into retirement.
I feel like
last year.
there's like Jerome Bettis.
I feel like that happens with a lot of players,
There's some
too.
big
Okay.
names that didn't do it because
Jerome
of their.
Bettis not even a top 10 running back. Why
He's
would
not
you get a
top 10, but
farewell
like
tour?
he was a staple for the Steelers. Like there's players that have that clout where they're from that could have deserved it, but there's kind of an unwritten rule of the respect of the game
Only
that
goats.
I feel like will be outside of that. That's not hate.
Only
I just feel like
goats.
that'll be.
Only goats deserve a tour. If you are like regular like
So would Aaron Rodgers
Kobe
get a tour?
Bryant,
Would
Kobe-
Aaron Rodgers get a tour?
You doing it for one
I think
person.
if,
is
nah,
above
he's not
all
gonna.
football.
He's
That's
gonna
what
get
I'm
mixed
saying.
reviews because
That
Chicago's not
Tom
gonna give
Brady-
him any love. Like the Chicago Bears, he
Tom
ain't
Brady is
now
above all the traditions of football. Like, yeah, we're going.
because
Do you think if Tom
that
Brady had a
transcended.
farewell tour, that it would be any stadium that would diss him?
Don't say I'm not gonna diss him.
I
But
definitely
feel
think, like he said, if Aaron Rodgers was,
I think it's some
Yeah.
teams,
the
some
Bears
some
would just-
organizations
That's not
would
the-
diss him. Like if there are some players, there have been very few players, and plus there are not many players that have the reputation among players in the league. But most players, I can't think of a lot of people that have played with or against Tom Brady that have more respect for any player more than Tom Brady. And I think fans, bro, like when we blew that lead to them, bro, I gotta respect, bro. Like, bro, it ain't like he really did that.
he did it. But
If he came to when he comes to Atlanta, bro, I'ma stand up and I'ma give that man some love, bro. Cause that man, we're not gonna just see another Tom Brady. You gotta appreciate greatness. And you saying, oh, Jerome Bettis and all that, bro, you got to be goated. You gotta be one of the GOATs to get that. There's a reason Paul Pierce didn't get a farewell tour and Kobe did.
And not only that,
Paul Pierce was an
Hold on,
all-star
and
player,
not-
was a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
He don't get a
but
tour. He wasn't on
was-
that level.
He was. That's the other thing too. Tom Brady's not on his last leg. Paul Pierce was on his last leg.
Yes.
Doing that tour. You talking about playing 5 minutes a game, 10 minutes a game. Kobe was still averaging 22. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference.
Yeah. that makes a huge difference, and it's like, bro, the game, the NFL in general has so much great things came out of Tom Brady, who he is. He made it better as a fan, whether it's rooting against him or rooting with him, bro. You can say that, bro. I've watched greatness.
That's true. For me, I feel like it'll be him being put bigger than the game, right? Because it's not just Tom Brady. It's Belichick. It's all his
But you got some
receivers,
people, unfortunately,
everybody that was there that put in like basketball.
You got some
Kobe
people-
can take over. Like you can look into Kobe's eyes, right, and you know he's about to take over, right? You can look into. I'm just saying, like, and I'm not like a hardcore Kobe fan, but you gotta respect that. There's so much that goes and involved with a player being successful for that many years in football. For him to be like, yeah, Tom Brady farewell tour. I'm like, bro, like you gotta give a little bit of love to everybody else that helped
What they
him.
do?
I'm sorry, bro.
They do.
I'm sorry, bro. Kobe's last game, he was like, you could look into his eye.
Kobe did used to put on.
He took like 75 shots. And he got 60 points, and everybody was like, "Oh, Kobe scored 60."
But at that point though,
like,
but there was a period in the game where we wanted Kobe to keep shooting though. That's why I'm not mad at it. It was a very inefficient 60. It was a very inefficient 60, but it's like, but I wanted Kobe to keep shooting because I'm watching greatness. This is the last time we're going to see greatness out of Kobe.
I'm with that because, like Kobe, how many people just walk around, and that's the difference level of where football is and basketball is, and I think that's the biggest thing. Because how many people going around throwing a pass saying Tom Brady? Right? How many people? Like every person has their own favorite quarterback, but no matter what you do, you're gonna shoot a balled up piece of paper in a trash can, and you gonna
never.
You never did Kobe?
Ever.
Really? You done it one time?
Never said.
You know, little
Never
dog
in life
never?
because you know why? I never liked.
Oh, you
Kobe.
couldn't shoot.
I was
understand.
definitely one of those people that was definitely on the Tracy McGrady wagon.
Low key D said you a hater.
No, it's cool. I can accept that. I have no problem about that. I hate it.
LeBron
I'm not gonna lie. I did
LeBron
not
gonna
like
sit
Kobe.
his last game out.
I
That's
feel
what
bad.
Loki said.
I didn't like Kobe.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. For a long time, earlier on in his career, I didn't like Kobe either. Part of the reason I inherited the Shaq beef because Shaq came to the Heat. I inherited the beef, so it's like, oh, he don't like Kobe. Oh, we don't like Kobe. And then on top of that, Dwayne Wade is my favorite player. So it's like, hey, Kobe Wade. But towards the end of the year, I started to like Kobe, especially his last year. His last year, I was really digging Kobe.
I think I was on the same thing. I was growing up, you know what I mean, fat little kid that played basketball. The only person I could emulate was Shaq. Right? So I inherited the Shaq beef with Kobe.
Yeah.
But eventually I came to realize, man, you seeing greatness. The same reason I don't like LeBron.
Actually, a little bit.
But I realized, like, hey,
You watching greatness.
I'm watching greatness. So
I feel that way about Kobe. All jokes aside,
Yeah.
like I hated Kobe and was not a Kobe fan, but at the same time, especially as the years went by, he started deteriorating. But
That's
his
the way you
last
gotta
season, I was
appreciate
just
Kobe.
like,
And I do the same
okay,
thing
yeah,
with
this is
Tom Brady.
definitely greatness. This is my era that's leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Brady the same way. Like, I know I'm witnessing greatness.
Yeah.
Right? But I feel like there's just more traditional stuff that I like to hold on with football than there is in basketball.
But I understand what you're saying, but bro, like you got to think about it. A lot of the greatest players we've seen, their careers don't end on high
top,
notes.
yeah.
They end like they just
They
got
on their
older,
last
their
leg.
bodies done
Yeah.
broke down on them. Like Tom
Udonis
Brady's
Haslem
different.
is not getting a world tour.
He wouldn't have got one had he been in his prime right now. From Heat fans,
I'm trying to
bruh,
figure out why do y'all.
we gonna love UD.
I'm trying to
but
figure
other
out why
people
y'all
they're
keep-
not gonna give him his love.
I'm trying to figure out why y'all keep him on the roster.
Do you see that we're number one in the East right now?
Okay, cool. Do you think that's because
He is one of the leaders in
Yeah.
the locker room.
He is.
Yes.
He's the cornerstone of that locker room.
People listen to UD. Like, bro, like Jimmy
minutes
really
a
listen to him
game.
and respect his voice. Like,
You must really like. You called him UD. That sounds like a.
that's a Heat fan.
That sounds like a disease.
Listen, bro.
I got UD.
He's the Miami Heat. No, go
Hey, dog. I got the UD.
exactly what that hey, man, y'all ain't gonna talk about Cap like that.
Have you ever had the UD?
Not
Y'all not gonna do my boy like that.
Like,
I tell y'all what.
And he 50
He's
with
45,
braids.
right?
With braids.
He a smooth 40
Oh, no, he
piece.
got his braids,
Yeah,
right?
40 piece. Yeah, he
got the little mini
too.
fro.
He got the nappy fro.
know.
Still, hey,
He
in shape though.
Yeah,
I bet.
Hey, but he can lift up a truck right now.
Yeah.
So we was talking about Kobe, man. I know you ain't like Kobe for a long bit of his career. Neither did I. But would you say? And again, later on in his last year, I liked him. But would you say there was a moment where you said, like, or your favorite Kobe moment? You know, what would be your favorite Kobe moment?
It was how I felt like it was the torch got passed from Jordan to Kobe in the last All-Star game for Jordan.
Okay.
Right? You can kind of tell. I'm watching it. It's 2003. Like, Jordan try to get a game winner. Right? He back up. Kobe get the block. Then Kobe come down, get fouled. He don't ice the game like you want to go to do, right? But he still, he ain't young Kobe. But he still got some growing and maturing to do. It's 2003. But he comes up, tie the game, take the All-Star game, which is the All-Star game. Everybody, All-Star, it's not serious. But it still was a moment.
Yeah.
And they had a couple, back and forth. Like, Jordan talking junk, Shaq up there, screaming out, hey, go get it, Cole, for, a long outlet pass. It was, you can tell, like, the league kind of, like, dubbed him, hey, you the next leader of what we got going on. Mm-hmm. And after that, it was Kobe's league. So I realized.
Was it, though?
I was just about to say that.
I mean,
it was growing into it, yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal was still there.
He was
Allen
there.
Iverson, T-Mac.
Yeah, they was still there, but it was still like, hey, this is the next up and coming person.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because, let's just think about it, right? It was Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is that how y'all think about it?
That's fair enough to say.
Yeah. And then beforehand, I'm not that old, so beforehand it could be multiple other people that was the flag holder of the NBA.
Right.
But, you felt like, hey, Jordan kind of gave, hey, here you go. Boom.
Okay. I can dig that. And I think because I feel like it was so many similarities that people used when it came to Jordan and Kobe. My favorite Kobe moment, I got one that I didn't like, but I later on, came to, respect it. So my favorite Kobe moment was, of course, his last game, him dropping 60. And it was I really found myself really rooting for Kobe. Because granted, I didn't like Kobe for a long time, but that last year, I really found myself rooting hard for Kobe than I've ever rooted in my life. And that last game, because I respect greatness, man. And I never, I don't know Kobe personally, so I don't personally hate Kobe or nothing like that. It was more from a basketball perspective. But, in that moment, that last year, bro, it's just bro, you just be a fan. You know what I'm saying? And that last game, he was dropping 60, bro. I was just a fan of you know, him doing his thing and him going out.
Yeah.
Now, a moment that I hated at the time, but, you know, like later on I looked back and respected, like, when he hit that game winner versus the Heat, to shut off the backboard, like, that is one of the luckiest shots I've ever seen. But it's like, bro, what can you do, bro? That, like, you couldn't play better defense, bro. Wade was all there, hand to face and everything. You couldn't play better defense. Kobe hit a huge shot, you know what I'm saying, off the backboard. It was a little lucky there. He said it himself, it was lucky. But he went on, like, I think, like, shortly after that, it was a couple games, he was just hitting game winners with everybody. And I'm just like, dang, bro, Kobe really going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even though I wasn't always a fan of Kobe, I've always respected his work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Kobe has a dog in him. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like sometimes, you know, he treated his teammates like crap. I definitely feel like sometimes he could have got more out of some players that he played with. You know what I'm saying? But I respect the Mamba mentality.
Yeah. Jordan was the same way. I mean, like LeBron did the same thing. I mean, you expect, if I'm putting forth so much effort, I expect the same. And if I don't get the same, then you ain't getting you.
I understand that, but it's like, bro, like, I feel like early on, and I feel like later on, Kobe did get it. He eventually got it. That's why when he came back and started winning championships, he eventually got it. Like, bro, let me use my teammates. Let me, you know, get people involved because I need everybody to win. Like, bro, Kobe wasn't like that. Kobe, like, early on, he was like, bro, like, I can do it. I'm going to score all these points, and I'm going to be that guy. That's why when Orlando was like, oh, he should have won MVP. He had 35. I'm like, bro, he's scoring a bunch of points. He's not, bro. Like, his teammates hate him out there.
No, one of the Nash back-to-back years, it should have been Kobe.
No.
One of them, yeah. No. But like Tay said, the 2010 going through the Celtics, which on game 5 when they lost, they zoomed in on Kobe, right? Mm-hmm. And I looked at Kobe, and I was just like, oh yeah, they gonna win the series. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? It was just a different mentality. Like, you could tell, like, hey, I'm really about to put it on my back. And there's not too many players that was really gonna put a whole team on their back.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm gonna say it was I can't remember what year it was, but Kobe went on a stretch where he had like, I want to say it was almost 20 or 16 games in a row dropping 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not dealing with basketball, I really love the fact of how, even though he didn't have no sons, his daughters, he trained them in basketball and still taught them, even though they were daughters, like, still treated them and did what most parents would do anyway. But still trained them as if this is what she wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The being at their games and handling the team stuff, like handling that stuff with his daughter. He was very involved with his kids, which I always love. I love anybody that can be professional, but at the same time make sure they have that time carved out for their kids. So that I did like.
Yeah. And Low-Key D said the year he was talking about was 06.
Okay, that was 06.
But
it was nasty. It was like literally. I want to say it was like 20.
Yeah. Tay P92 said he was exposing Dwight Howard mindset, and he did. I ain't gonna cap, he did. But I won't
say expose it because nobody considered Dwight Howard to be like this force or nothing like that. That was his problem the whole time.
Okay, I wouldn't use
that was his
the second coming of Superman. You know, Shaq.
But nobody put Dwight Howard in no aggressive category. He had this killer mindset. Nobody ever said that. So to me, saying that Kobe exposed his mindset, it's like, no, he kind of was the same person all along.
But I think what he's more so talking about, because I think his personality was what it was. I don't think he exposed his personality, because his personality he was just a fun guy. Yeah. I think when it came to mindset, it was your work ethic. Yeah. Because Dwight Howard did not develop his game. Like, Dwight Howard his game thrived off athleticism. He had no real post work. You know, it was just him being able to be that big, to be able to jump that high, block shots, rebound, and all that. But it's like, bro, you could be way more dominant if you actually got in the gym and got to work. And I feel like that kind of rubbed Kobe the wrong way more so than you cracking jokes.
Yeah.
So what y'all think? Y'all been seeing this whole thing with the Nets, you know what I'm saying? James Harden and all that. Y'all think, bro, the Nets are going to be an L. They're going to be an L again this year, yeah. That's going to be an L. I don't even think it's just this year.
And it's going to be because of the fact, it's going to be two reasons. One, they can't seem to get on the floor together.
Yeah.
2, with the Kyrie thing, with him not being vaccinated, that's going to be a bad thing for the playoffs because he can't play home games. They'll probably still finish in the top 4. So they'll have most of their games at home anyway. Yeah. So that's going to be the dub. And they just can't, like, when they play together, they are definitely, to me, almost on the verge of unstoppable. All 3 of them. But it's been so short-lived, I don't know if they can do it in a playoff series.
Yeah, they have there's no chemistry. And they have enough talent to where they're still going to be a top seed in the East, but
James Harden needs to leave.
Where should he go?
He needs to go to Houston. Not Houston.
He needs to retire.
No, he doesn't need to retire. He needs to opt
retire.
out. Yeah.
Dang.
I have an issue with James Harden too. But
I don't
Dang, who do you like?
I don't like James Harden either. Why
you haven't liked anybody we talked about in this show.
So the main thing I don't like about James Harden is he's too ball dominant, and he hasn't got there. Like you need somebody else. At least get to where you can play 2-man ball.
I mean, he wasn't like that initially with the Nets, though.
Okay, that's not my issue with James Harden. My issue with James Harden is James Harden could be so much better than what he is because of his talent. But James Harden doesn't play to win. James Harden plays to get the call. Yeah. And that bothers me. Because there's a lot of plays he can actually finish, but he's too busy throwing his hands up to try to just get the call. Yeah. And that irks my skin. Because you could be way better than what you are. Yeah. So that's why I don't like James. But to me, he needs to go to Philly.
All right, that's where I'm at with it. I say Philly too.
Him and Embiid, I just think would be nasty. They need to move house, clear house, get rid of Ben Simmons, get some pieces. You're not gonna get. I personally don't think they're gonna get what they think they're gonna get for Ben Simmons. They trying to get what they got for James Harden for Ben Simmons, and that's not gonna happen.
You got to ship him out, and I like Philly.
Ship him out.
Philly would be a good because Embiid's not another ball. He can't go somebody else that needs to handle the ball.
Philly is really.
They would be nasty.
They're blowing this with Ben Simmons, bro. Like,
how would you handle it?
They need to trade him before the deadline.
They're trying to the deal that the Nets gave to get Harden. Yeah. They think that they can get something like that for Ben. And you're not.
You're not.
Like, he should have been gone. You're sitting here wasting, bro. Embiid is having one of the best years, if not the best, year of his career.
And he's not always too healthy.
You need another star.
So you have wasted a year of him, and that's not good because he's had a great year. That's going to waste.
I'm telling
you, and if they would have got James Harden closer toward the beginning of the season, or even earlier than now, the freaking Sixers would be off the chain.
Is Harden and Embiid enough to win a championship?
In the East, all I'm going to say is this. The Nets with KD last year was literally a shot away from going to the finals. Yeah. They would have slaughtered the Hawks. Conference finals. They would have slaughtered the Hawks.
I mean,
they would have slaughtered the Hawks.
I don't like the word slaughtered, but I'm
not going to lie. Slaughter is tough.
They would have slaughtered the
because they actually was beating the Nets during the regular season. I don't think they swept them, but they were giving the Nets problems.
The regular season does not matter. All I'm saying
is
absolutely
matters.
If if Durant and James Harden doesn't even count because he was nowhere to be found in that series, and Kyrie wasn't there. So if Durant could do that to me with a Harden and Embiid with the pieces they have, because you'll still probably have Tobias Harris and other little pieces they have on their team, that would be a nasty team. And I think they would probably meet the Bucks in the finals in the Eastern Conference.
In order to get, if they was to make the trade for James Harden, which I think would be a good one, if I'm the Nets, I want more than Ben Simmons. Like, that's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I'm gonna need somebody. If you can find some way to keep Seth Curry, and
you won't get too much because their contracts almost line up.
Yeah, but then that's when it's gonna start to be some throw-ins. Like, I feel like the throw-ins, if I'm the Nets, I'm gonna want your key players, like key role players. You know what I'm saying? Of course, not the big men, but I want some key role players. The Nets, you give whatever I give you, whatever little two-way contract guy or something like that. Like, we're gonna make this money work, but don't understand a straight up James Harden Ben Simmons trade is not a fair trade. No. It's not a fair trade.
And I think like what Don was saying, Harden might be prone to stay because of the fact that we haven't seen those big three together, right? Mm-hmm.
His year's counting down too. He ain't no spring chicken.
He's not, but like with those three,
that is such an old man analogy.
That's true, but now you're going. This is going to be.
Chicken. What is a spring chicken? What's the difference between a spring chicken and a fall chicken?
Is this going to be year 3 with the Nets with James with with Kevin Durant and Kyrie?
This year 2.
This is year 2.
This year 2
with
with
them
Harden.
3. With them 3.
Yeah, with
but
them
this
3.
is year 3 with Kevin Durant.
But the first year was kind of a throwaway because KD was out all year. Kyrie
Yeah.
played and then he was out all year. So
And then this is year
that was a
throwaway
throwaway
with the same thing because the vaccine and KD hurt now.
see,
So-
it can't be a throwaway because you made that decision. Kyrie made the decision not to do the vaccine, which is up to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it is. So you chose what you're gonna do. So now you got to stand on that. That's what you're going through. So, and I think to be honest, when I watch James Harden some of these interviews and he just expresses his frustration, I think Kyrie has a lot to do with it.
I do too.
Because bro, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I came here to play with
We were
Kevin
on a
Durant,
banana boat.
Kyrie. Yeah,
On the off season, we were like, "Hey, we're gonna come together and
gonna
run
make-
the league."
exactly.
And then now you don't want to get a shot
they're
because it's
not.
gonna hurt and you got a boo boo.
Ain't no.
Come on, man.
But you know what's unfortunate though? Well, I'm not even gonna say it's unfortunate because I don't have a problem with it. But what I see happening is if this Nets thing falls apart, KD is gonna get a pass. And like I said, I will give him a pass because I'm not gonna put it all on KD. However, if this was LeBron, he would be catching it right now. Regardless of anything that's going on around him,
his
because
19 super team.
but my thing
Of course
is,
he's gonna catch it.
okay, KD helped build this super team.
I'm about to say, this is KD.
So if
like
you
4-2.
help build
Let's
this-
not, let's not act like this is his
not.
first.
But LeBron started it.
I mean, he just went to
Anyway.
the greatest super team ever with the Warriors.
Because he got spanked
I'm
by the
saying,
Warriors.
that was the only thing Kevin Durant did that I just wasn't feeling. Those 2 rings, you did your thing in them, but I'm sorry, they not impressive to me because
So
you know,
we all play pickup basketball, right?
Okay, so you're going to
Okay.
make the analogy of just you're going to pick the best players.
No, I'm gonna make that. Hey, the team that's been winning said, "Hey, we need one. Hey, big man, come in." You're gonna be like, "No, I'm gonna go beat you."
LA Fitness probably because it ain't that serious.
I know it's not that serious, but I mean, like, hey,
And
go
actually,
get-
if
go
they've
get your
been beating
ring.
me, I don't want to join them. I want to beat
your
them,
ring.
especially if they beat me.
you
I want to beat
win,
them.
you win, but we're not gonna elevate you above the others that was already ahead of you because of what you did with them. Like if you were nice and you go to the best team in the gym, you know, so you hop on that team and y'all win, I'm not gonna look at you and say, "Man, bro, you the best person in here." No, you
team
did
was already
what you
good
were doing
without
with the
you.
team. They were great
Yeah.
without you, so you're another piece.
But I don't think like KD's ever been like wanting to be in the like I'm the greatest conversation.
Yes, he does.
He does.
I
Okay,
definitely
no.
think it hurts him about him.
I think in his mind he
I definitely
does.
think he feels like
but I
he's
think he
better than
stopped
LeBron,
chasing
but
that
nobody
ghost.
really feels that way.
Yes,
Except
I feel
for-
like
I think he stopped chasing
like
that ghost.
LeBron, like you could tell, like that's key for LeBron.
But
I gotta
okay,
be the- like-
so a lot of
I
people,
agree.
for years now have been putting KD above LeBron. So, and that's fine if you feel like he's above him. Okay, cool. But I need you to keep that same energy on how you grade him. Grade him the same way you would grade LeBron. And if you do that, I'm fine with that. I have no issues. I don't look at it like that. I don't look at KD's situation and say, "Oh, you this." If this next thing don't work out, I'm not going to say, it's KD's fault
Except
because
for-
I don't ignore context.
I gotta put the
People
clip
ignore
in.
context with.
I gotta
LeBron.
cop the clip real
What?
quick because that game they played against the Bucks that went into overtime. If that would have been LeBron that went 0 for 6 in the overtime and didn't score a single point and let them beat them like that,
Oh my goodness!
oh man, you
they
know
would
how
have went
much,
crazy.
you know how much, you know what he would have caught.
Yeah, he was.
I'm trying to be PG.
That's what.
But everybody gave KD a pass. Oh, he was exhausted. He was tired. Oh, so he
mean-
did what LeBron's been doing his whole career, leaving it out there.
Not his whole career, yeah. You know,
You get the drift. You get the drift.
And LeBron's had some.
He played 40. He played the whole game. Wow. Okay. And
But like, I don't. I'm not gonna quote Spider-Man, but that's what.
Why not? Like, Coach Spider-Man.
with great power comes great
Yeah,
responsibility.
that's what like LeBron is.
Okay.
You got the flag for the NBA now.
Okay,
It's
so
never
KD's
been
not
KD.
up there. So KD's not
It's
up there.
never like not. You got the flag for that. Like KD top 3,
Yeah.
right?
Right now,
But,
is
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But he's not. He's never been like, hey, you're the face. There's a difference when you're the face, right? Steph got a couple years of you are the face of the NBA, right? A couple years over LeBron. But
Yeah, I would say like
LeBron-
maybe 2.
Yeah, but like for LeBron, LeBron's the face.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's in the conversation of like you're one of the GOATs. Like KD doesn't. To me, KD and the way his actions, the way he's moving, he ain't too worried about being the face of the NBA. LeBron is. Like you can tell he's very like calculated about his actions, what he does, how he presents himself. And LeBron, now I can say it, right? LeBron has done a great job on what he's doing and how he's positioning himself. Like, I have to understand, like, now after Kobe died, I realized that you have to respect greatness while it's here, because you're never going to be able to.
He must have been a Bron hater for a long time.
I was. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to accept it and enjoy it while it's here, because, you know, life is short. Sure. So I'm seeing somebody that's the face of the NBA right now playing, right? I still got my beefs about LeBron. He ain't a killer like Jordan and Kobe.
Okay.
But he has, married to the same girl out of high school, kids, he got a school, he's a philanthropist, you know what I mean? He's trying to make moves. You got to respect that, right? Like you said, I respect greatness. So I got to respect that. But KD's not on that same level. As far as, like, KD is just an NBA player. LeBron is building himself
very
to be.
good one, though.
Yeah, LeBron's building himself.
But I
to
get
be
exactly what you're saying.
LeBron's
LeBron's more of a mogul.
An icon. Yeah,
He's a mogul.
Yeah. So you grade him on different scales, and he accepts that.
But see, that stuff has nothing to do with the game, though. But him being married and all that, like that.
It doesn't. But even with the game,
even
with the game, has KD ever been a point where he's been the face of the league?
No.
When you said that initially, I was really thinking about it. And
There's
I'm
never
like,
been a point where he's the face of the league, because when he went,
I think he was on the way to, but Steph Curry came in. Like when he won that MVP and stuff like that, I think the league was ready to give it to KD, but
y'all remember Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
Right? When the other ape was just like,
wait,
hey,
which
grabbing
one? Which one?
One of the other ones. I forgot the main ape.
One of the later ones?
Yeah, the newer ones.
Okay.
And then the ape gave his hand out. That was Steph to KD, and KD was like. That was what it was. Like, at that moment, hey, I can't be the face. That was his time to be like, hey, I joined the Warriors. Like, I'm just gonna be a superstar. Let me hold my own. But once you did that, once you moved to the Warriors, you kind of came. You know, you the second.
That was Steph teams, regardless. I got a question for y'all. If it might be too soon to say, but because right now, of course, Zion was number 1 pick in that draft. Ja was number 2.
Oh, don't do this.
Zion been dealing with injuries and stuff like that. Now, I'm not gonna say Zion is a bust. I'm not gonna say that. I don't think he's a bust. Either. But do you think injuries can make you a bust in any sport? Do you feel like injuries can make you a bust?
Yes. Great old. I'll boy to
No, I absolutely disagree. I disagree.
Man,
I disagree.
How? You must not have watched Portland.
Because, bro,
you must have not watched Portland.
No, I did.
Greg Oden was a dog, and the injuries definitely killed him.
Yeah.
Another person was freaking Tracy McGrady.
Okay.
Tracy McGrady's injuries robbed him of even more greatness.
That's the point. That you just made my point. That's
what?
why I don't feel like injuries can make you a bust. Because if injuries take your career away, that's not you. I think a bust is somebody that played and was just garbage. Darko Milicic was number 2 behind LeBron. He played. He just wasn't good.
Okay, so one thing about it, especially now, that I'm going to, and granted, people are like, bro, this chubby behind it, you know what I mean? Can't say this. But there's so much technology and science around how to prevent injuries. Like, we knew, just like Derrick Rose, right? Derrick Rose, perennial great player. Injuries hindered his career. And his career already is a highlight reel.
Right.
But he was too aggressive how he took off. Like, he tore the court up every single play, every drive, every dunk. He was like, and that's the same thing with Zion. But Zion, you at 280. Right?
Almost 300.
Yeah, now, but like, you know, that was on paper. Yeah. He was like, you had to get in the gym, trim that down, because you can't that's not going to be sustainable. Look at Tom Brady.
For the torque that you pull out, you can jump out the gym. You can literally grab the top of the backboard.
So he had like,
and you too heavy to be flying that high.
Doctors already told him, like, hey, doctors probably been on him so like that. Hey, you're not going to have the longevity you need to be great. And look at LeBron. Look what Hoodie Melo, right? Melo's like, for me to get this longevity, I got to lose this 25 pounds.
Right.
I got to get in the gym and work on it. So that's something that you have to be cognizant of and ahead of. And I don't think people within Zion, we hype, number one. So like people wasn't in Zion's ear to be like, hey, you got to watch it. And then now they said he's even heavier while he's rehabbing, which is ain't gonna help.
So, and I think too his success, his early fame and success kind of hindered his basketball ability. He didn't put basketball to the forefront because of how early how big he was. Because to be honest,
in high school, high school, he was going viral.
I would honestly say he's been the biggest person as far as hype coming into the league. The furthest I can go back is LeBron James coming out of school. There's to me been nobody who was as hype and even got as much money off the court and with basketball before they walked into the league like that. Yeah. So I think that had a lot to do with it. I think the fact that he went to the Pelicans is another thing. I think that has a lot to do with it.
He's good in the Orleans, boy.
Good. Let me tell you something. Them beignets is good. And they got some great seafood, too. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I think if he can get out of New Orleans, but also, like you said, if he gets somebody in his ear to really help him focus in on what you're here for. Yeah. That's going to be a turnaround. I'm not calling him a bust yet because he's just young.
Yeah, he's not a bust yet.
He's not a bust yet. But I don't think if he continues to deal with injuries, I don't think injuries can make you a bust. If Zion, because when Zion did play, when he looked like Zion, it's like, man, he's going to be a problem. So if injuries take that away, I'm not going to say you were a bust because I don't know. Like, I had a flash of what you could have been. I know you could have been great. Can we ever say that Anthony Bennett, you know what I'm saying, that you've seen flashes of him being great? It's the people here don't even know who Anthony Bennett was. Yeah. You don't know who Anthony Bennett was,
but no, I'm thinking of like...
In fairness, though, they messed him up because he wasn't even supposed to go number one, so I don't know how that happened.
Okay, maybe...
Adam Morrison was picked number 2, and he was trash. Emeka Okafor was picked number 2 behind Dwight Howard. He was trash. Well, I'm not going to say he was trash, but he didn't live up to being number 2. That makes you a bust.
That makes you a bust. But I feel like there got to be like some type of freak injury that makes you a bust if you don't. That much hype, right? That much hype over Zion, and for something that can be mildly preventable. Like, my whole thing is, and I just had to look at his name, I think, like Brandon Roy, right? Injuries robbed him of a great, but it was like a freak injury. It's not like he wasn't in good shape. He wasn't like, he was like, hey, man, I just can't keep on doing it. Yeah. But that's the whole thing. Like, Zion, some of this stuff is preventable. Some of the stuff you can get ahead of. Some of the stuff is exactly
that's a better argument.
LeBron has been in the league so long. Like, hey, eventually, and then like Brady, right? The TB12. Brady's like, for me to be at my high level, I got to work on these things to be preventable, to stay ahead of it. Yeah. And I don't think nobody was telling Zion, like, he got boosted up, like, hey, like Dom said, he was going to be the person, he's the new LeBron. Mm-hmm. Then he came in, like, all I got to do is, you know what I mean, what the lights get? Blake Griffin. All I got to do is, like, you know what I mean, dunk and, put one dribble to the lane.
And I thought about Blake Griffin because Blake Griffin is somebody that spent his first year just out the league because of injuries. But when he got right, he was right. Yeah. So I definitely feel like that could be Zion. Once he gets straight, he can get right, and he gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the right system around. That's why I also think he got to get out of New Orleans. But I'm not willing to say that yet about him yet.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Because he is a problem. He reminds me of like a young Charles Barkley. Like, he's a dog. He's
like a combination of play. He like Charles Barkley combined with like Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? Like combined with some Blake Griffin in there. Like he's
that's what I'm saying. I'm not willing to call the towel. I'm not willing to call the towel on him yet.
But I'm not gonna lie though. The way Ja Morant looking though, it very well could be that Ja Morant ended up being the best player coming out of that draft though. In front of Zion.
I think he's a better player than Zion all around, but as far as who would I pick first?
And granted, Ja Morant had more time to develop.
I would have still went with Zion first.
To build a team around.
Zion was still the right choice. Yeah. And then, too, just to get people in the stands, bro, ain't nobody going to New Orleans Pelicans games.
Bro, before he even played a game, that season, this was before he was even picked, we went to New Orleans. They got drinks named after him already.
I'm like, but the Zion.
did he?
Zion Daiquiri.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
Zion Daiquiri.
it's a business. Like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
it's the
Oh,
biggest
yeah.
thing.
That's
And
what I'm saying. So
They weren't doing it like that
right.
for AD though.
They was
No.
They weren't doing it like that for AD.
No.
That's not me trying to hate on AD. I'm just saying the fact.
They was, but like
But you know AD.
the Pelicans had
All
them.
right.
Brandon
I've never heard
Ingram,
of
Zion,
Jimmy
like
Butler either.
they could have
Butler.
done something if he could have stayed healthy. So now it's just like, hey, you want to get out, stuff like that. I feel like this all could have been. He could have been ahead of it if he had the right mentality.
Definitely.
Coming into the NBA.
Definitely. His fame and success so early was a little detrimental to him.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete, but Pete says I ain't gotta stay eating those beignets, man. I'm telling you,
Beignets is fire, man.
they be fire. Now listen, he ran off a list of some people that are bust. He said Kwame Brown, Adam Morrison, Greg Oden, and Anthony Bennett.
Adam Morrison is probably like
That's a bust.
I really expected so much from the
What he came from? Was it UConn?
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Kwame Brown too, bro.
yeah, Kwame Brown,
Yeah, he lasted, played a couple years in the league, but he was buried down the bench to be a number one pick.
Kwame Brown was a bust. However,
Yeah, the Dwight mentality.
I will say, I mean, I don't know about that, but I do know your first couple years, you play with Jordan, and then you play with Kobe. Then, like on your next team, not a lot of players can take that. Now, it's not giving him a pass per se. Because hey, you number one. I need to see that. You know,
Nah,
he didn't
now.
show,
Nah,
but
I'm not going to take this at all.
he got. Bro, they broke that man.
So you didn't
They
deserve
broke that man.
You didn't deserve to be there.
and that's fair. That's fair.
You deserve to be there.
But let's keep it real. It's not like, I mean, bro, this dude coming out of high school though, man. You playing against
Kobe came out of high
Jordan.
school.
This is
Garnett came
Michael
out of high
freaking
school.
Jordan.
Dwight Howard came out of high school.
Like nigga, like you.
And then he came and he played with who? Was it Daryl Armstrong or
You
something like
had
this? Is
the best player, one of the best person as far as work ethic. Just
And
follow
Jordan
his
first,
example.
and
But
then you had Kobe.
But
After
you
that.
know, not a lot of players enjoyed their time playing with Jordan or Kobe because that's not for everybody.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? Who's to say
But
if
you were number
Kwame
one-
Brown not go to another team in a better situation for him that he don't be great?
No. There's a certain
Because it was
right,
time
I'm
after he
saying-
left the Lakers.
His
he still didn't
confidence,
do nothing.
it looked like his confidence got
If
it
you
took a
wasn't-
bit of a
hey,
beating.
then sometimes
And he doing a lot of
Bust.
popping off now too. Have you noticed
he's a
that?
bust. Yeah.
He-
he's a bust.
at first I get it because at first he was coming at the people that had been coming at him for years, and
Yeah.
I dig that. Hey, go now. You just trying to come at everybody that ain't got nothing to do.
That's my thing.
Now it's like okay, you're just trying to be known as a troll now. You're trying to troll. You're trying to be the guy.
You're trying to revitalize your career
Yeah.
in something else.
You're trying to be that person that was doing all these things to you and others. Like for like, bro, come on, get over it, bro. Like
Eventually, there's gonna
you
be
got
two
your get
type of
back.
people.
Let it go.
Right. Those who's gonna make some of themselves, right? No matter the circumstance, or those who gonna let somebody make them into what they think they are. Right.
But let me be that. Don't try to tear me down, bro. 'Cause it's not like these guys was like, hey, like, cause, bro, y'all have played team sports.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. You cannot talk to every player the same way. Shout out Underrated for real. He said Jordan don't know how to talk to people.
Jordan, no, but like,
But you
that's one of
cannot
the-
talk. You cannot talk to every player the same way. The way you would talk to, a Richard Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using him as an example.
Yeah.
You can't talk to Richard Hamilton the same way you would talk to an 18-year-old Kwame Brown. Like you cannot talk to each. And I think that's one of the great things about LeBron. LeBron knew who he can really give it into, and who you have to be a little more.
Coddling.
Yeah, you gotta coddle a little more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how he's able to get some greater moments out of those lesser players.
I'm gonna say this one thing, right? You have two of the greatest people to ever play this sport.
As mentors.
If you cannot check your emotion to kind of see the benefit in it, then you just lost some of the best experience. Like people would pay millions of dollars to sit in the room with these guys, right? And you telling me
It's
you get
different
blessed
out
with
there,
it?
man.
It's I know it's different.
Cause if I had played with Kobe or played with Jordan, you're not talking to me like that. We gonna fight about it.
Then that's most of the ego.
But no, because at the end of the day, bro, it's a way you talk to people. It's a way to talk to people.
Then you gotta it's how somebody talks to you and how you receive it. It's two different things.
It's one thing. It's one thing to say.
I can't have somebody like Kobe and Jordan both. I played with both of them
exactly,
and not pick up no game.
But no, okay. So it's not even just about that though. It's at the end of the day, bro. It's one thing if you say, "Hey, bro, listen, I'm gonna show you how to work on your post game. I'm show you how to work on this, bro. Do this and that." It's different from hey, nigga, stop being soft. Stop doing it, bro. Not everybody can take that. I don't do that soft thing. Yeah. Ain't no you come to me talking about you soft. I ain't going for that. You know what I'm saying? It's some stuff you just not finna say to me. You can say certain. There's some people that say, "Oh, you soft." That ain't gonna bother them. They're gonna look at it. Okay, you trying to motivate. So forget the motivation, bro. You just tried me.
Then that's the ego, right? If the richest man in the world saying like you acting broke, and that's why you always gonna be broke. You're gonna take that game from like, hold on, talking about you got something here. Like, what do you mean I'm being broke? What do you mean I'm always gonna be broke? You soft. Bro, like, you have to take what you can take from these people. And if you can't, then you proving them right.
I don't know, man. I don't.
Like, that's the whole thing. Like, hey, I'm going to work on my game.
I'm sitting here talking to somebody that is
mostly
universally recognized as the greatest player of all time. I got Jordan. And then I got another person who's his prototype as Kobe. I have this game that I could be getting from them to enhance and make my game astronomically better.
So, but that's not the only way to do it, though.
Yeah, there's ways you can get more out of me. There's more than one way to skin it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But what is more important? The way you do it or making sure the cat is skinned? What's more important?
I'm sorry. But one thing like that's one thing like, hey, I don't have to go.
That's why they say the generation's soft, man.
Hey, man, I agree with that. I don't have to go back to Kobe to get my work. But I gotta take what Kobe said to me and go to somebody that can teach me the right way. And Kobe saying I'm soft, right? All right, cool. I can't go to Kobe to get my. Let me go to another person that I feel like is a mentor. Hey, how did you work this? Do. Because the person that's on my team, that's leading my team, that's leading the NBA, is telling me I got to work on this.
But it sounds good. But you know what he's going to face? He's going to face people like y'all. They say, "What you mean you got to go somewhere else? You playing with Kobe? What you mean you got to go somewhere? You got to play with Jordan?
No, you got to take what they're saying.
If your style of leadership does not work for me, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with a player that doesn't react well to that. If there's somebody else that can be with you, because I'd much rather play with somebody that can talk to me respectfully. And there is respectful ways to show somebody how to play the game, how to do certain things. And there are other people that have to begrade you and they think they live.
Now I'm going to tell you right now, where Andrew Bynum? Did he have Andrew Bynum, Kwame Brown?
Okay, Andrew Bynum may have been more. He may have been more built for that. He may have been more able to take that.
Yeah, but Kwame Brown, right? Andrew Bynum, they kind of the same thing. They out of. You telling me nobody in the league could have taught to Kwame the same way that he needed to be taught to? Somebody could have taught him the same way that made him believe in the leadership. No, he came out the league.
Okay,
so if one person breaks you, and you can't fix yourself, that's on you.
Okay, and I agree with that.
That's it.
I agree with that. I'm just saying that he takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta say, man, that it makes a deal who you play.
Yeah,
with.
I agree with what is it? Alabama saying just because they're the best player doesn't mean they're great to play with or good to play with. I agree with that.
Especially when they already got rings. And they got rings. People say, "Oh, you supposed to just take whatever." No,
you don't have to take whatever, but it's how people say it and how you take it, right? The way they deliver it might not be great, but you have to be yourself, your own person, and take. Hey, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this. But you know what? When they said this, I might need to work on that because I want to be great in and of myself.
And the person who's talking to me like this is great already.
Yeah. So like, bro, I'm gonna, but you ain't gonna talk to me any type of way. If you're gonna tell me something, let me know so I can get better. So we can be in it as the same thing. I'm not going to let somebody break me and I lose my potential. Because that's on you. If you waste your own potential because of somebody else, it's not their potential to waste. It's yours.
Bars.
Okay.
Real quick, while we on the NBA. Are you guys not upset like I am about Andrew Wiggins being a starter in the All-Star game?
No, bro.
I take the All-Star game very personally. I've never, ever missed an NBA All-Star game. I love it.
I
To
tell you,
see Andrew Wiggins in the starting lineup.
that's wild. But see,
That's wild.
I stopped.
Awesome.
But my thing is, I used to be like that, but I stopped taking it personally because I've grown to know that there are some people that's gonna get in there that don't deserve to be there. To me, that I feel like are taking a spot from somebody else that really should have been in there.
LeBron James,
That's
Nikola
how I go.
Jokic, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and John Morant. That don't even sound right.
That don't sound right. But like I said, it's gonna be some
That
people
don't
that
even
sneaks in there.
sound right.
It's gonna be some people sneaking in.
So
Andrew Wiggins, cool. Good job on this year. You're playing great.
it's a popular. It's
But
more
bro, I'm
popularity. It's a vote.
I don't understand how regular people voted this dude
It's
in.
not regular people.
I know, but it's like 50% fans, 25% players, 25% media.
Well, the 50% of the fans.
That's the part that's bothering me.
They
You
they
cannot tell me
casual
50% of fans
They casual
voted for
fans.
Andrew
Fans.
Wiggins.
They probably voted for Steph, and they probably voted for Steph, Clay, and Wiggins.
Yeah,
now
that's
Clay's
right.
not gonna get in.
I know Golden State,
but
I like them people.
yeah.
Vote.
But my thing is this though. So I feel what you're saying, but let me say this though. Andrew Wiggins has definitely revitalized himself. He revitalized his career because I think now he's able to play a role he's more comfortable in. Minnesota was trying to make him the dude,
And he's
not
not
that
He's
guy.
like
Yeah.
the third guy.
Yes, but he is thriving as the third guy. He is doing a very good job as being that Chris Bosh type player for that team. The problem is, I think what the problem is though, that now, and granted, I think starter might have a lot to do with it, but I think what you're doing more so is holding the Minnesota years against him for what he's doing.
No, he's playing good for.
Because he's turned
Okay,
into a very
this
good
is-
two-way player, and he's been hitting big shots. He's had a lot of big moments for
A
this team.
very an all-star two-way player. All-star starting two-way player.
That's debatable.
And he's definitely getting the
Well,
job.
definitely not starting. He
And
shouldn't be a
and
starter
let's
for
not
sure.
let's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
act
yeah.
like he's not getting the job too because of the injuries that's going on in the West. He's not getting the starting role over no Paul George or no Anthony Davis. To me, Rudy Gobert should have been in there before him. Just being honest. You got Donovan. I mean, even though these are guards, but you got Donovan Mitchell. You got Steph Curry. I mean, not Steph Curry. You got Damian Lillard. You got
I'm sorry,
Luka
man.
Doncic. Andrew Wiggins should not be a starter. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to say he made the reserves, have no issue with that. A starter in the Western Conference, man. Please.
You know how I said I don't think I've come to find out there are some people that's gonna get in there that maybe shouldn't be in there. I feel like Rudy Gobert is one of those. I'm sorry, great defensive player,
But as
I'm
a center,
just-
you gonna have Jokic.
the center position isn't important anymore.
Amen.
It isn't.
That's
the
about it's
issue.
about
That's
guards
the issue.
and bigs.
It
That's all
isn't,
is.
but that's also because there's not that many good
I'm
centers.
sorry.
Is
I've
there
just
any
never
good
been a
centers?
fan.
In
I'm
the
just
league right now, how many good centers are you gonna make?
Okay, so
ooh, centers are back now. Centers are coming back.
Okay,
I
so
think-
in the league,
I don't
let's say the
think
West.
it's-
We're just talking about
I
the
don't
West right
think
now.
it's coming back how it is.
Not like it
More to
was,
like
but
the
there are a lot more big.
European
Okay,
bigs.
but who
Yeah.
in the West?
In the
We
West,
got Jokic. That's a lot.
yeah, Jokic.
We're not counting AD because he's not no center.
He's not a big.
Okay, so after Jokic, who are you going? Who's the next big in the West?
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton. Okay, cool. Let's say him.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Oh, bro,
That's the problem.
No,
There are
because-
not that many bigs. Now, you
Yeah.
got somebody like Jokic and Embiid who are bringing the big men game back, and that's what do you call it, a stretch five?
Yeah.
So,
It's
but
a
that's
European. It's a European big.
it. Yeah, that bigs are not popping
Yeah,
like that.
not-
Okay.
It's just mainly them two.
Porzingis.
No,
He's a West. I mean, he's not an
He's-
all-star,
but
but
he's
he's regular
washed.
big. Okay, Karl Anthony Towns is one.
yeah, but I'm not.
Karl Anthony
Carl,
Towns is one. Stop it.
I would say he's playing better this year. He is. He's really taking a leap.
But he's a really
forward
good
this
big,
year. He's okay.
Come on, man.
He's okay.
Like you said, DeAndre Ayton. And to be real, I mean, I think that might be it.
I told you, Rudy Gobert is. I'm not saying he's
Oh,
the best offensively.
Robert Wood in Houston.
from Houston.
Yeah, it's just Houston sucks, so they're not giving him his credit.
And
But
is he really a center?
is it Robert Wood? No, Christian Wood.
You talking
I'm
about Christian
sorry.
Woods? He's not
Christian
really a center.
Yeah.
He is.
Is he a real center? No, bro.
He's at the center position. He's 6'10" and however much he weighs. He's their center.
Nah, I'm not putting Christian Wood in there. Like I said, I'm very disappointed to see Andrew Wiggins in the All-Star game.
Okay, so who gets that spot?
I named like 6 people. You named like 4 other people that could.
But you named people.
You could have. You could have put.
No, you named people.
Okay,
that
you
injured.
would have put DeAndre Ayton in there. You could have put Karl Anthony Towns because, like I said, Karl Anthony Towns is having a really good season. Over Andrew Wiggins, bro. I'm sorry, Andrew Wiggins is averaging like 16, 17 points a game.
Okay,
that's cool.
Yeah,
but we talking about all-star.
Okay,
no, I'm sorry.
Okay. I have to say, I had to get one thing off my chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm becoming more of a baseball fan, right?
Okay.
So,
go Braves.
You know what I'm saying? Go Braves. You know what I'm saying? Champion Braves. You know what I'm saying? World Series champ Braves. You know what I'm saying? You about to turn the head around. That ain't the Braves hat. That's okay. You did like that. I'm like, okay. But no, I am becoming more of a baseball fan. Even before I was a legit baseball fan, I was always a fan of Barry Bonds. And I hate how he is being kept out of the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. And if you look at his complete body of work, everything points to that. Everything shows that he is the best player ever to not be in there. By far. And he's one of the best players ever to play the game. Some will say the best. Who knows? I think race may have something to do with it. But I think, because I was watching a documentary, I was saying, it was even some black people that were saying, yeah, I don't vote for Barry Bonds. Because a lot of people are saying he cheated. You know what I'm saying? And what people fail to realize is the Baseball Hall of Fame is full of people that have cheated in the game. It is full of scumbags. It is full of racists. Okay? The Baseball Hall of Fame has a lot of people that are not going to be voted best person in the world. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of those. So to keep Barry Bonds out of it is ridiculous. But let's say, okay, he cheated. Y'all, they said he cheated, I think it was in 98. 98. If he would have stopped, he came in 84. If he was to stop at 98, he's a Hall of Famer. Okay? The man had 3 MVPs before steroids even became a thing. Okay? The man hit, home runs. He was the best player in the game before steroids. Okay? So if you're one of those people that want to use steroids as an excuse, stop it, because even before that, he was like that. You know what, too? They also said, Barry Bonds didn't have a great relationship with the media. You know what I'm saying? Who cares?
Yeah, what does that have to do with the actual
That has nothing to do with the field, bro. Like, you don't like somebody, okay, that's fine. They did the same thing with T.O. They kept trying to kick T.O. out the Hall of Fame because of his relationship with the media and stuff. Bro, at the end of the day, was he like that or not? Was he one of the best players to play a game or not?
It goes through, right. And you always hear the word gatekeeping and stuff like that. The first major league sport to break that fourth wall is the NBA, and they're really the only team to do it.
That's why I love the NBA, bro.
The next group right now is the NBA. The last one is American sport, and we have to understand, like, we're not really in a big American sports city. We're kind of like, in Atlanta, which the Black Mecca. Yeah. So like baseball is huge, and the tradition
well, not as huge as it used to be though. NFL took their spot.
But like,
I think basketball probably passed them too. There was a point where NBA ruled America. I mean, MLB ruled America. It ain't like
they
that
still like in our area. In our area, is not.
Oh yeah.
But like other places.
Well, I ain't gonna cap now.
Major League.
The Braves is big. Now I can't say nothing about the Diamondbacks or
but that's
the other teams. But in Atlanta,
like NBA got
Braves,
international things, right? Mm-hmm. The NFL is now doing international things. We're playing in Mexico, playing in London. They're branching out overseas. MLB ain't doing that. MLB ain't doing that because I don't have to. Because I got my people that the only thing in my city is baseball. Right? Just like we grew up playing football and stuff like that.
And they taking people from other countries to bring it. Because
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest imports from some of these Caribbean places. Like, hey, it's baseball players.
Yeah.
It's big. So they have a really tight thing on what's wrong or right. The numbers wise, and like you said, everybody during that time was either doing steroids, cocaine, or other players' wives. Like, it was everything was happening bad during that time. But it's just like Barry Bonds just happened to, he was doing everything wrong better than everybody else, and that's the issue.
Yeah, and they have managers and the league commissioner at that time who pretty much knew about steroids, but he took a blind eye to it because MLB was doing numbers. Like, it was going up. those folks in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? You got manager teams who they knew their players was on that juice, but it's like, hey, we winning, so
it's okay.
I don't see it, but they in the Hall of Fame. I just think that's kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? But free Barry Bonds. All right, get that man in the Hall of Fame, man.
He's the number one. He's the number one home run hitter. I think he has a lot of
that too. Even though people hated
Hank
Aaron back then when he broke the record.
He's the only player with 500 home runs and 500 stolen bases. And I knew that before the podcast. He legit played. He fielded well and got trophies for fielding. He batted well. He got trophies and MVPs for batting. I mean, it's a closed case for him to be in the Hall of Fame, but it's the asterisk of steroids, which everybody was doing during that time.
Before the PEDs came in, he was a 3-time MVP. There's only 8 players. He's one of 8 players to have 3 MVPs, and the other 7 are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. In 1998, he was the first person to have 400 home runs and 400 stolen bases. He was the first person, and at that time, the only person in the 400 club.
He was cheating better than the cheaters were cheating, and that can't happen because the cheaters.
Because he hit a record home run, he hit 73, and it's like, oh my god, come on, man.
Cheaters
Everybody's just
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
MLB is still more than anything a good old boys club.
Is it worse than NFL?
It's worse than NFL, yeah.
Okay.
NBA is worse than NFL. If you think it is because
that's actually
half the
question.
players speak another language, but it's still.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
But I feel like I don't watch baseball as much, but I'm only gonna say I feel like the NFL is worse because 98% of your players are black, and it is still treated like a slave ship.
Yeah, it is a slave ship. The next group of voters might just look at the numbers, and not upset
because they were young and they were younger watching Barry Bonds. Like, oh my god, this is great. Like they know what it was like. Those older people, they was like they're older than Barry Bonds. They're looking at him like, man.
And I don't even watch baseball like that, but I know that Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter that ever played.
Exactly.
And I don't even watch baseball like that.
He's one of the whatever way you want to slice it. He's one of the greatest players ever.
Yay! Greatest hitter or greatest home run hitter?
Okay, greatest hitter. Because I can't say player because I don't watch baseball.
Oh yeah. You gotta give
I think you
gotta give Cal Ripken a little burn.
I'm not gonna say he's the greatest player ever, but he's definitely in that room with the greatest.
I feel like
so. I think hitter to the side. I forget the hitting. He's one of the greatest players ever.
Yeah, he's.
But appreciate everybody that stopped through, man. Y'all got any shout outs?
Like I said before, y'all been hearing me saying it for the past couple weeks, man. My baby is finally out of the hospital and she is full-fledged biology med spa. I am trying to be a stay-at-home dad by the end of next year. Y'all can make that happen. Okay? So y'all go check my baby out, alright?
Men too. Men check it out. She got men services too.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, she doing teeth whitening, she do the body sculpting, she got a lot of women's services too, but men can get it done too.
Men can get stuff too.
Get the little teeth whitening.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I would like to shout out Fan Noise Podcast for bringing me on and having a good time out here, man. So, anybody else, I'm going to post it up on all my social media. Y'all go follow, like it. You're going to enjoy every conversation from the serious sports fan to the casual sports fan. They got everything in between.
And some of the delusional stuff that people
say. Shoot. You feel me?
We got a few on this chat. We got a few at this table.
Amen. Yeah. Go Kobe. Boo LeBron.
The haters in. I am going to actually give a shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Big Brian, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Forrest Gentleman, my boy Cortez. Hey man, shout out to Gentleman's Delegation Podcast, man. Where can they check you out at, man?
Oh, it's gonna be the Gentleman's Delegation on Instagram and Facebook. We're cranking it back up, and we're gonna start back up in April. So you'll be able to hear some of your content. We don't do sports, but we're going to be talking about some stuff that y'all talked about.
Yeah. You come here when you want to do sports.
Yeah. We're going to link in with them, bro. So it's a great thing. Come check us out and follow both groups.
For sure. Appreciate all y'all again, man. We'll catch y'all on the next episode.
Yes, sir.